Hi again everyone, Scott Pyre Pop Cult Fan here, and in this video, I just finished watching Marvel's Echo on Disney Plus, and wow, I really dug this show. I think this is probably like a project within the MCU that really does like stand on its own. You don't have to watch anything else, even though it is connected to Hawkeye. You know, there's the character was introduced on Hawkeye, and it is interesting because this is a character that's not well known at all. Like, this is a character that is probably one of the least popular Marvel characters out there, and the fact that they made a show based on her character, it's interesting because they really ground it. They really ground it to a street level type story, and the show begins in New York and then it transitions to Oklahoma, where Maya is originally from. And I really liked what they did with her character and how it delves into her backstory and her lineage, which, you know, going into that, you know, it was really interesting because it's a sort of a Native American lineage, and I thought that was really interesting. You know, between this and also that one episode on Marvel's What If season 2, I like how they're like introducing these characters that are from different cultures and just going into another corner of the Marvel universe that we haven't seen before. And I really like that about Echo, especially because for those of you that don't know this, I'm actually, I mean, it's a small margin, but I am part Native American, like a small margin of Native American in me. So I like them learning more about my own culture a little bit here while watching this, and it's really cool. And also, I gotta talk about Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. I love this character. I always have, ever since the Daredevil show on Netflix. And, you know, this show kind of sort of makes Daredevil, the TV show on Netflix, canon to the MCU as well as the other shows. So all the Netflix shows, all that is canon now to the MCU, and awesome. You know, I really like how they delved into Kingpin's backstory a little bit too, and how they sort of use that as a part of the story here on Echo, which I thought was really fascinating, especially in that last episode, and how, you know, both Maya and Wilson Fisk confront each other in the last episode, and I really liked how they handled that. I'm glad that they didn't do what a lot of the Marvel Disney Plus shows have done in their last episodes. They did something different, and I appreciate what they did. It was great. And, you know, seeing Maya go through this arc throughout the season, she starts out in the season being very hardened, being very not really adept to, you know, it's just being very serious. You know, she barely smiled throughout the season, which is one small little complaint that I have. Like, throughout the season, she just doesn't show a whole lot of emotion. I mean, she does, but there's a reason for that, because when we go in, she went through a lot of trauma. Growing up, and it was interesting seeing how that really affected her as an adult, and I thought that was really fascinating, you know. And you know, Wilson Fisk, you know, kind of takes her under his wing, and how that sort of makes him try to have a daughter figure in his life, which I think is really fascinating, because Kingpin has always tried to have some kind of human connection whenever he has a villain arc, whether it's here or on the Daredevil show, he always tries to have a human connection to a character. And that's what I like about Kit Wilson Fisk, because you see how Vincent D'Onofrio is trying to make the character have a lot of depth by having a human connection with somebody, like whether it's Vanessa, his girlfriend on Daredevil, or Maya here on Echo. And I really liked that. It really provided a lot of tender moments throughout the season, but at the same time, you know who Wilson Fisk is. You know what kind of a character he is, and the lengths he'll go to keep the things that he loves. Wow. And the tone of this show really does capture what made the Daredevil show so good. And I love this season. It was great. I liked how we also got some really great choreographed action scenes. This is probably some of the best choreographed action scenes I've seen in the MCU. It was all really well done. But also, one other complaint that I do have is that it's not, I mean, it is okay, but the pacing wasn't all that great, because there were like 1 or 2 episodes where there wasn't a whole lot going on, and because of that, the pacing wasn't quite there. But it was still great nonetheless, and you cared about the characters too, even though there wasn't a whole lot going on. And I really think that this show, it's something that really captivates you because it's different. It's a different take on the Marvel Universe. It's something you haven't seen before. It's in another corner of the Marvel Universe, and it's, focusing on another culture, which I love, and it's sort of part of my culture, and I love this show. It's great. Echo, Marvel's Echo. I don't know if this show will get another season, but as it stands right now, in these 5 episodes, it's a complete package, and you don't need to rely on Hawkeye to watch this. You don't, because the first few episodes, as well as later episodes, flashback to events of Hawkeye with Maya. So you really do not need to watch Hawkeye, because everything that she was doing on that show, they show it again here on this show. So yeah, don't watch Hawkeye. Watch this, because it's a full story with everything about her character from beginning to end, and her arc throughout the season, and where it goes at the end was very satisfying and brought a lot of heart and emotion to the story. And also, there were a few cameos throughout the season. Well, mainly in the first episode, though. It was mainly in the first episode. But yes, I mentioned Daredevil and Hawkeye. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And yeah, and there is a post-credit scene in the last episode, so keep watching the credits, because there is a post-credit scene, and I cannot wait for Daredevil Born Again. I don't know when that will premiere, either next year or the year following, maybe like in 2026 maybe. I hope it doesn't take that long, but we'll see. I cannot wait for Daredevil Born Again, because they mentioned that Wilson Fisk will have the same kind of energy on this show that he will in Daredevil Born Again, which is the best way the character has been portrayed, if you ask me, compared to how he was on Hawkeye. Just the way he was on this in Daredevil, it's easily a character that kind of reminds me of Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor a little bit in Smallville. I don't know what it is, but he reminds me of Lex Luthor. He is sort of like Marvel's equivalent of Lex Luthor in a way, and I love the character. He's probably one of my favorite Marvel villains, like, ever. I love the Kingpin character, I really do. So yeah, and my overall grade for Marvel's Echo, I would give it I give it an A-. That's my grade. Like I said, just the pacing issues, as well as for the longest time on the show, Maya just didn't show a whole lot of emotion, but that was just mainly because, you know, she was a very hardened character that has been through a lot of trauma. So yeah, those are all my thoughts for this show. I loved it. Definitely worth watching, and something new and different that is worth the price of admission. So that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.